figure I could show you the benefit of using this lens. There's my solder, which is functional but not pretty, but on super tiny parts I think I did alright. And the fact of the matter is that I bet you if it doesn't work, it won't be because of my shitty solder joints with the cheapest Chinese solder possible. It'll be because of some through-hole part. I almost guarantee it. So yeah, this lens is extremely nice for very up-close and personal shots like this, but it also leaves me up to criticism on my soldering technique. You win some, you lose some. Okay, back to a mediocre lens, and back to my soldering looking pretty decent, because you can't tell how bad it is with this shitty lens. So, I don't see very many low-profile components. D4 and D3, we have two diodes. So it's these two guys here, which are these two guys here. Now they have an odd footprint. You have to bend them all the way out. But yeah. So just make sure the band is heading in the correct direction here. And I'm not quite sure what standard footprint this is, but it doesn't seem too bad. All you old guys watching me not bend these legs at a standard distance. Yeah, you know, I'm not too concerned about it. Alright, so this way, band going this way. I think that's correct, yeah. Yeah, I know you're not supposed to stress the legs of these things, but you're not supposed to stress the solderer either, and that would be me. I think I'm going to actually solder these from the front. Don't know. We'll see when we get there. Now, C1 is a through hole, 10 nano. So C1, and I'm sorry if you're getting some microphone feedback. I keep smashing my head into my magnifiers, I should say, into the camera stand. Yeah, that guy will not bend happily. Maybe I'll just solder this in as I go. Non-polarized component, again, which is quite nice. There we go. Gave it a bend. It's not going anywhere. C2 is 1 micro. Yeah, 1 microfarad. So C2 is here. The band's on this side. Looks like it's a bit of a mismatched footprint, but that's alright. My board didn't turn out all that great either. This one looks actually professional compared to mine. C3, 100 nano, 0.1 micro. C3 over here. See, that's a pad for an electrolytic, but I've got a ceramic, non-polarized. Just going to go however which way I want. C4, 1 microfarad. Band is over here, band is over there. Like so. Okay. And I got some pots, but I can do these first. So now I'm back to using my slightly bigger solder, this brand here, whatever this is, Kana. This is my second roll of this that I've ever bought. So since 2016, I've only used a single roll in everything I've done on this channel and otherwise. So I need to order some more, but I don't think this one's going to be done very soon, so I have some time. What kind of solder should I order? I see some MG Chemicals stuff on Amazon that looks intriguing. I probably want something 0.8 millimeters or maybe even thinner, or maybe I'll stick with the 0.8 and get something thinner as well. But again, I don't want to buy like 2 pounds of this stuff because I don't really do that much soldering. Maybe one day I'll start a business selling my own circuits, but until then I don't need to buy industrial quantities of lead solder. And I definitely don't want any lead-free stuff. I've told this story before, but basically at the dealership where I work, I was able to solder extremely well. I got home, my soldering skills were lackluster, and I honestly didn't know what was wrong because, you know, when I did it for customers on their cars, everything was fine. Come to find out that at work we used lead solder, and at home I only had lead free. And I know you can solder nicely with lead free, but it does take quite a bit more effort. And as you can see, I don't necessarily put a lot of effort into it. I just like building. So I would say, if you have recommendations for leaded solder, I will take them into consideration. But just know that I probably won't be ordering any in the next little while. If you are a soldering company that wants to send me samples, check the channel description for my PO box info and send me some. I'll give you a shout out, but I won't give you a positive review unless I like the stuff. Alright, so what's next? Looks like the only thing I have left is a bunch of jumpers. So I got this guy, this guy, this guy, these guys. I have a whole bunch of these guys. Alright, whole bunch of jumpers. So I think I'm going to pop them in and hold them in with some sticky tack. Finally got myself some new stuff. I think I made a tool haul video about this stuff. Just absolutely fantastic stuff to help you solder. So I'm going to pop these in where I believe they go. Might actually be a good idea to put the legs in, I think. They might sit flush, we'll see. So there. These look like power. A lot of jumpers on this, because I think you can set them in different orders, in different locations to do different things. 4-pin here, J5. Also, I have a terrible thing that I do where I confuse people's names. So if I haven't been saying Gadget Reboot during this entire video, I apologize. Sometimes I will mix up people in the same category, like other YouTubers, for example. Don't know if that's a mental condition or if I'm just no good at it. I mean, either way. Alright, here goes. Some of these are not exactly in their place. I'm trying to do this where you can see as well. If you hear someone in the background, that's just our tenant. Don't worry about that. Nothing to see here. Move along. He's up a flight of stairs and around a couple corners, but you can still hear him. Oh, those headers are barely in. I hope I got enough solder on them. I should probably build a fume extractor, huh? I do have some fans. So the problem with YouTubers with fume extractors is that they make a lot of noise. I finally have the audio on this channel to a point where I can be proud of it, and I wouldn't want to go crowd that with a whole bunch of noise. Alright. That doesn't look too bad. Just gotta take all the blobs off. Might try to get these guys. See how they're up off the board? Might cheat a little bit and push with this silicone mat here. See if I can melt both the solder joints together. Oh, is getting a little hot on my fingies. There we go. Yeah, they're a little bit pushed in, but that doesn't really matter. Okay. We only got a couple potentiometers to go and we're done. So the final pots are R1, R3, 1 meg, and R2, 500K. And pots use middle 3 pins at footprint. So I don't think he messed up his design like I did. I think he just wanted the outsides to be accessible for whatever reason. This guy is serious. He's done a lot of electronic stuff. I'm kind of a tourist in this hobby. I'm just coming from the automotive world, but he's made some pretty cool stuff. All right, middle 3. And I know you're not supposed to pin over the pins that hard, but honestly, I don't care. It'll work. And there we go. Solder those 3 boys together. And I think we will be done. We'll have to see if she lights. I know a few of you will be rooting for this thing to catch fire, but I don't think it will. Give her a little bit of a trim. These legs are definitely flying across the room. That's fine. When my wife walks around down here, she'll find them with her the soles of her feet. That woman has no luck whatsoever. Well, proof in the pudding, she met me, so, you know, how lucky could she possibly be? Just going to finish up the build by putting on these feet to stand it up off the bench a little bit. These things are pretty neat. Might look into these. I'm not a big fan of these things most of the time because they're slippery, but I do appreciate the inclusion of them. There we go. So it'll sit nicely on the bench, and on this silicone mat, it actually works really well. See, it doesn't go anywhere. And just for curiosity's sake, yeah, I think this thing is solder proof. Let's see. Yeah, it might discolor a bit, but I think I'm literally just grinding lead into it. So that's pretty good. Alright, I think this video went on for a very long time, so I will actually cut this here, and on the next video we're gonna read up on how this thing works and plug it in. So stay tuned if you want to see flames or not. Also, put in the comment on the comment section of this video if you think it will work or not, if you've found anything wrong with my soldering or not. And also, don't forget to go into the description and go check out Gadget Reboot's channel. It's good stuff, I promise. Thanks again for watching.